everybody. We're going to take a break today from working on that semi-truck. Have a little bit of fun. So I got something special for you here. I put a post on a Facebook group the other day trying to find out the level of interest, if anybody would, want to see this video series or not. And the overwhelming response was, yeah, let's do it. So let's get started here today. I got something here I want you to see. So this is it. This is my 1962 International Harvester pickup truck. You can see right there, it's a C110. It's a half ton. Truck kind of comes with a story here. It was my father's. He bought it brand new in 1962. So it's been in the family all these years. This was our vehicle. This is how we got around, went to town. We farmed with this thing. So it's had quite a life. 3 restorations. Sorry about the wind. It's turning fall here and it's kind of a rainy day. So hopefully the audio quality is okay. Anyway, we farmed with this thing. The last restoration, had to get a donor vehicle, kind of piece two trucks into one here to get this thing back into shape. So it's got parts from each vehicle, but we'll just call it, still largely original. Let's start in the front here. It's pretty cool. This is my favorite thing on the truck. Look at this hood emblem. Man, that is cool. So, we don't like to knock anybody else's stuff here. We like all vehicles, but Ford and Chevy got nothing on that. That's pretty cool. I kind of like things that nobody else has, and anybody can have a Ford or a Chevy or a Dodge, but not everybody has an International Harvester. Look at that grill. So let's just first walk around the vehicle here. Check it out. Got a couple more boxes for it. This is the only one that's a step side. Leave this on here for now. These aren't the original rims. I have the originals. They need a bit of work. I also have the original center sections, hubcaps there. They need to be redone before they go back on here. They're in pretty tough shape. Not the original bumper. Do have the original. Once again, that needs a bunch of work before it goes back on here. Kind of wish they'd have put these letters here in white or something. Make them stand out a little bit more. Take a look along the passenger side here. Not the original fuel cap. The original fuel cap says International on it. I got boxes of parts for this thing. I haven't really gone through everything yet. Father passed away a couple years ago and kind of wanted to keep this in the family, so I bought it. I love it. Let's take a look inside here. We'll start inside the cab. Got my International floor mats, of course. Radio no longer works. The blower motor still works here for everything. The vent and the defrost and that. The wipers still work. We're missing a headliner. I remember from 30 some years ago what it looks like, so we'll get a new headliner put in here one of these days. Obviously the seat has been redone. Original instrument cluster. I even have a second one of these. Everything still works. It originally had a 3 on the tree, but that got kind of roached out, so the donor vehicle had a 4 on the floor here, so that's what it is now. Kind of wish it was still the 3 on the tree. That was pretty cool. I'm missing this center sec. By the way, I really want this video series to be interactive, so I welcome all comments. If people can give me help and advice, it's really another reason I'm doing this. This is my first classic vehicle, so it's a very much a learning experience for me. So leave all your comments and advice, feedback in the comments below. Let me know if you want to see more of this, and I got a whole lot more to show, but we'll get to that in a minute. This center section for the steering wheel here, if anybody knows where I can get one, you know, appropriate to this year, make, and model of vehicle, I would love that. That would be great. I kind of remember what it looks like as a kid, but I've never seen one. And maybe digging through my boxes of parts, I might find it, but we'll see. Let's go see what's under the hood on this thing now. Ah, did you hear that? That's the sound of metal. You just don't hear that anymore. All right. Here's where it gets pretty interesting. Original motor. If you see here, you can see it says International across the valve covers. Originally, it would have had a generator on it. It's been redone to an alternator. Just fine by me. Original radiator. I put a new battery in it. I put a new coil on it. Condenser. Oil bath air filter. You know, you don't do that anymore. So the carburetor, this thing sat in the shed for a few years. So that carburetor was jacked up and had some real issues. So I found a guy in Arizona that had a carburetor for this thing. It's a 2-barrel Holly. So we sent it and we put it on. Works great. Now I got a spare carburetor because these things are getting hard to find and expensive. So spare parts are always good. Runs much better now too. This is a V8, by the way. I believe it's a 4.3 liter, which is like a 240 something or 260 something. I have the original owner's manual. I haven't really dug into it yet. But here's what I could really use some advice on. Is it still has the original points ignition in it. This thing has really let me down in some critical moments here in a couple parades. One time it died halfway through the parade, and another time it's just at the beginning. But what's happening is the points won't stay in adjustment. They keep getting too close and then the thing won't run. And I really need to get some reliability in this thing. What's the point of having it if you can't use it? So anybody that could give me some advice on that. I don't know, I'm putting new points in. I believe I'm gapping them right. And people are trying to convince me to switch over to electronic ignition. I really don't want to do that. Like I said, it's somewhat important to me to keep this original. And plus, I'd like to have a vehicle that doesn't have all the electronics on it. So if something ever happened, you know, EMP, whatever, this thing would still run. So there's people out there way more experienced on those things than me. And yes, I put numbers. I numbered the plugs here because I'm new. Don't know all that yet. We'll get there. Welcome your feedback and input on that. So we'll just take another look at her again. The guy that did the last restoration didn't do a great job. I mean, it's okay. I mean, if you look over here, you can see, you know, we got some runs in the paint, and same thing on the dash. We got rust bubbling through. Not a huge deal, you know. This truck has lived one heck of a life, but I'm proud to have it. Also, I alluded earlier that we have some more projects along these lines. I have a collection of international harvesters. So, but the rest are, well, I have the parts truck that goes with this. Eventually in my retirement or whatever, I'd like to restore it, get it back on the road. That's a big job. And then I have 10 or so antique international harvester tractors that are in need of constant, you know, love and affection and work. So I mean, we could do a lot of videos here if there's the interest. Unfortunately, winter is coming here shortly, and this thing is going to go in storage for the winter. I live in the northern United States here, and there's a lot of salt around. So I don't know how much we'll get done here before winter, but I at least wanted to do this introduction because people seemed very interested. So yeah, let me know in the comments below any advice, help, and hopefully we'll get to do this again very soon.